More and more, we're sharing our personal information online. Learn about possible threats and how you can protect yourself from one of Metro government's own.
Issue of adaptability.
And a group of community leaders recently gathered to talk about Louisville's future. How can we ensure our city and residents adapt and thrive to be ready for whatever come their way? All that and more is coming up on this episode of the 502 Report. Hello, and welcome to this episode of the 502 Report. We've all heard of cyber attacks on companies, consumers, and even governments. In response, Louisville Metro IT is working hard every day to protect our online resources and city employees.
This is my code, this highlighted section right here. So as it's changing throughout the load of the page, I can watch how it changes and see at what point does it change to something it shouldn't be. I am a computer programmer for a jewelry company that sells jewelry online called adiamore.com. We absolutely get random probing hacking attempts. 99.999% of that time it's not going to work and nothing's going to come of it.
There's a new virus in the database.
If you have an email address, you have been contacted at some point by a spammer. It might even pretend that something's already happened, so you get an email that says your Google account has been compromised. Click here to verify your information. You click to verify your information, and all you're actually doing is giving them your information. They can send out millions and millions and millions of these, and if they get one to work, that's enough.
Metro Cybersecurity, this is James. I transitioned from an IT perspective to more of a security perspective because I saw the utility in having trained professionals there securing the things that I was working on, and there honestly weren't enough of them. Metro government suffers really millions and millions and millions of attempted attacks every month. This is the cyber threat real-time map. It shows web, file, email, and other vulnerability actions that are picked up by our antivirus vendor. We know that not only the people that work for Metro government, but also the citizens of Jefferson County rely on us to do business safely and securely. We focus on two things: having the right tools in place to detect and log when something bad happens, but also a comprehensive education program for our end users so they know to report something when it's bad. The biggest form of attack is the email phishing attacks that we see, but that's not the only way they can social engineer users.
Social engineering, the idea is you can just talk to someone who already has that information and convince them to give it to you.
There are other forms of social engineering as well. You can be called on the phone.
Security, Norm.
Listen, I'm in big trouble. You know anything about computers?
Gee.
Right, well, could you, read me the number on the modem? It's a little boxy thing, Norm, with switches on it. Lets my computer talk to the one there.
212-555-4240.
Phishing is a form of social engineering over email. One of the first things you should look for is if you think a message comes from someone you do business with, verify that the email address is actually from that person. That's one step. And often grammar mistakes, poor punctuation, no capitalization, things like that will clue you in that the message isn't really from the person you think it's from. From a ransomware standpoint, which is the most common virus now, the bad guys will go out of their way to notify you that you're infected. They'll put something up on your screen that says you must pay the ransom to get your files back.
You didn't say the magic word.
Please!
So if you get a pop-up in a dialog that tells you to call a number and you don't normally do business with that person, disregard it. Now let's say it is someone you do business with, or you think it is. I recommend going directly to the business's website and calling the number there as opposed to a pop-up.
There are a lot of different ways that people will try and trick you just by changing small things about how you go about your normal day-to-day life on the internet, just direct you to the wrong place at the wrong time, and they've taken whatever they need from you.
Anybody want to shut down the Federal Reserve?
First, keep your machines clean and up to date, and any software you have on your machine, to include antivirus, your operating system, and third-party software, set it to automatically update.
Keep them updated, because even if they aren't actively hurting you, they might be actively hurting someone else on the internet by not being entirely secure.
My second tip is secure your accounts. So any account that has a password, use a longer password, at least 8 characters, and include uppercase letters and numbers.
They change the password every couple of weeks, but I know where they write it down.
Number 3 is when in doubt, throw it out. If something suspicious appears in your email, a link, an attachment, something you weren't expecting, or it doesn't look right, throw it out. So number 4, if you have a smartphone, get 2 steps ahead by enabling two-factor authentication. Basically, all the big services, retail, banking, credit cards, will all send you a text message when changes are made to your account or someone tries to log in that isn't you.
One of the things about the internet is it came on so quickly, and that so many things just sort of burst onto the scene before really being properly vetted. And that's where a lot of our security problems lie.
Hospitals and schools being attacked by ransomware and losing all their data because they didn't have a resilient backup strategy in place. It is personal, but that's one of the best ways to learn, unfortunately, is through your own and other people's mistakes. You learn how to better do your job.
Learn more about ways to keep yourself safe online by visiting the Department of Homeland Security's Stop Think Connect website at dhs.gov/StopThinkConnect. Coastal Cloud, an IT consulting company based in Florida, currently employs about 115 people remotely throughout the country.
Congratulations on locating in Louisville.
And now they're moving into what they call a solution center in the Nucleus building.
They're really democratizing high-end software that before was just in the purview of the Fortune 1000 and allowing small and medium-sized companies to have access to this power, to the agility of really powerful software.
And we like bringing those business processes and the technical capabilities that are available today to smaller markets where we can work one-on-one with owner-operators and help make this innovation happen every day, dramatically change their business, and basically allow them to compete with some of the biggest companies in the world in a much more agile, cost-effective way.
Louisville is the home of their Midwestern headquarters, with some of the other offices in cities like Chicago and Nashville. The owners of the company are committed to hiring 30 employees in Louisville over the next 2 years.
We're here to create jobs. Very high-end jobs that some people feel they would need to move to San Francisco for or New York for in the past, but they'll be able to do it right here.
Coastal Cloud is looking for IT professionals with Salesforce experience. To apply, go to coastalcloud.us. The Fifth Third Bank bus recently rolled through town and partnered with Community Services to help residents who are unbanked.
If I am a single mother and I wasn't taught banking by my mother, then I don't have those skills to teach to my child.
This is our Fifth Third Financial Empowerment Mobile. We bring our bus to communities that are kind of underserved by the financial sector. People are initially a little intimidated about seeing their credit report.
When you look at my credit report, what do you see is what I need to work on?
We talk through with them, no matter where you are, it's where you are, and we have tools and resources that can help you to get to the place where you want to be.
You said you've been at Murray Guard for about a year now?
I approached her about coming out to the bus. Her response was, Charmaine, I'm too young for this, but I said, this is a prime opportunity.
I don't have any credit. They said put $300 in a savings account and start paying on it and then build on credit. So that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to do $500 instead of $300.
A lot of times people in these communities are not necessarily going to walk into a bank branch and ask questions, but if we bring the bus here and it's a much less non-threatening environment.
I'll show you one thing kind of cool that we do.
We can help them with a lot of issues.
Probably didn't think when you came to work today you'd be building credit, huh? Deposit the funds into this account and they'll mail you out the card.
Clients as well as our staff have come out.
You've got my card, reach out anytime.
And it's been very beneficial, so I'm very thankful for that Fifth Third partnership.
No, I'm going to call you.
Yeah, we'll make sure we get your credit built up.
The city has so many resources. They're willing and able to help anybody that wants to make the dream come true.
Nia means purpose in Swahili, and if your purpose is to learn more about business, a new one-stop center could help you connect to vital resources.
The addition of the micro business team to the NIA Center not only brings a staff with a lot of expertise and knowledge, but it also infuses more people here and a new level of energy as well.
With a variety of small business loan and education programs, the NIA Center at 2900 West Broadway is preparing all kinds of business professionals.
Sometimes in West Louisville we can be looked at more as consumers than producers. And there was a time when West Louisville was producers. And so I think this gives us an opportunity to recapture that.
A creative place like this needs to have a gathering space where people can come together, either to hold a business meeting, brainstorm a new idea, maybe dream up new businesses or things to do, or just chill out for a little while.
A new branch of Sweet Peaches Cafe is set up to fuel the activity.
They saw the hard work that I put in, and they believed in me. They had faith. They stepped out on faith and trusted me. Something a little different, a little more healthier. We're going to do organic soups, organic salads. We're going to have something for everybody.
To learn more about the NIA Center, call 502-574-1140. What will Louisville look like years from now, and how can we all start working together to thoughtfully plan a safer, more equitable future?
We've got great momentum when it comes to what's taking place in our city right now. But what a good city does is looks down the road.
How do we move Louisville forward to be a resilient city?
And that's what we're here to do today.
Yeah.
Deciding the collective steps that we're going to take to build the resilience of our community and our citizens.
Resilience is the capacity of individuals, communities, institutions, businesses, and systems within a city to adapt and thrive no matter what kinds of chronic stresses and acute shocks they experience.
Have a focused approach to bring all of these different languages together, all of these different resources together.
Be proactive rather than reactive, and response is more expensive than preparing.
As we think about what we need, that we think forward, apply our lens through the lens of our next generation.
We think that resiliency is important, and it's a good thing for the city to move forward with.
This is going to take us multiple years. Let's start with the families that exist right now and look and see what they need to emerge as the world's most resilient families.
I was just going to send it out for bid.
The work that we do in the Office of Housing and Community Development is centered upon
You brought in your application today.
people and community.
So they have several programs in her.
This conversation is really closely tied to the work that we do every day.
By them coming through and helping them out, it means a lot.
Necessity of all parts of the community, of the system working together. There was a lot of interaction, which was really, really good. And that's the most important thing there, to get a whole bunch of different views.
How insular are people and communities from things that happen once, like a flood or a power outage, or things that are large and systematic, like foreclosures or unemployment?
This meeting is really the tip of the iceberg.
It's all interconnected. Resilience isn't about your resilience or my resilience, it's about our resilience.
We officially welcome Louisville as part of the 100 Resilient Cities Network.
To join a learning cohort, 100 resilient cities with a tremendous backbone provided by the Rockefeller Foundation, that allows us the ability to learn so much faster than we would learn just by ourselves.
Pictures can often capture a moment in ways that words alone simply can't. Here's some insight from Courier Journal photographers on the 100 Great Photographs exhibit at the Fraser History Museum.
It's not really just 100 great photographs of the Courier Journal. It's 100 great photographs of Louisville, Kentucky.
If it's a gripping, hard-hitting photo, the viewer has to confront that.
When you become a photojournalist and what you're doing is a mirror to society, you can't approach it as a hobby. It becomes a profession, and I take that extremely seriously every day.
We feel we've got a gold mine as well, a gold mine of history, and I've really just scratched the surface of what is there.
You know, here at the Fraser, we've always prided ourselves on sharing stories that matter, and these 100 great images from the Courier Journal are certainly stories that matter.
Really what we have here is a cross-section of what we do at the newspaper, everything from hard news, breaking news, to soft feature work, and it's a really nice collection.
Well, I really have to credit Pat McDonough for curating the exhibit the way it exists right now. Pat has digitally recorded about 1,000 images out of our archive, and to be able to cull that down to 100 images is really a heavy lift.
I had sort of started digging into our archives about 3 years ago, and I knew we had great work there, and I knew that a lot of it hadn't been digitized. As I was digitizing the photos, I realized that I wanted to share these.
Pat went down into our massive library, both still photographs and film, and he found these photographs, and over time, He has just scanned them in and curated them piece by piece. It's really a hats off to Pat McDonough for finding all these gems.
This exhibit tells a story about how we became who we are in Louisville, Kentucky today.
One of my favorite photographs from this show is Michael Kors' photo from the forced busing days in Louisville. And that is of two young students, one white, one black, coming together in a classroom and shaking hands. And that was really our signature photo from our work that won a Pulitzer Prize. Can the photo tell the story on its own? And can it sum it up? And that's what that photo does.
You know, there are so many great images in the exhibit, and I like different ones for different reasons. And one of my favorites is Larry Spitzer's photograph of Elton John in the dressing room at Freedom Hall. It kind of goes back to the privilege of being a photojournalist. We're given the access to go certain places, and the privilege comes with the responsibility. What I love about Larry's photograph, kind of deconstructed in a locker room, very plain, very average looking, very tired. He took me someplace that I couldn't go. So Larry took me on a journey behind the scenes. That is the mark of a true photojournalist, is he took me a place and described something to me that I didn't know before.
A lot of times when you take a photo and you walk away from it, you think, I just made a really great photo. And then over time, when you go back and look at that, it's not that great. But these have all stood the test of time.
What photojournalism and photography in general allows you to do is linger on an image. There's a wonderful Barney Cowherd image from 1948 of a street corner. And there's about a dozen people on that street corner, and they all have different expressions. And you don't really know why they're there. But that one frozen image in time allows you to go back and linger on each face and wonder, what was the rest of that story? That photograph is so wonderful because it really allows you to ask more questions than the photograph ever answers.
I spent 25 years in television broadcasting, and I said an awful lot of words. One snapshot, one image can tell such a rich and amazing story. Go to a scene like Selma, and instead of shooting the chaos all around, find that pain and that strife and what that story's all about in a man's eyes. I think it's remarkable what these photographers do, and we're proud here at the Fraser to be a part of the exhibit.
When people do come through this exhibit, I really want them to feel the pride in their community, in the photographers who have captured it for them and of them. I want them to see their community in different ways and know that we're working on their behalf. I just want them to feel as they move through. And that's when I know we've all been successful.
The Courier-Journal has a long and storied history of really great photography, and a lot of that has been tucked away for years. And with this show, I hope that people can get an idea of the quality of work that is still being done at the newspaper.
For more information on the Fraser History Museum, go to frasermuseum.org. And one property in South Louisville is getting new life thanks to a public-private partnership.
You know, you could name everybody that lived in every house here. That was my old house.
The school building had a long life.
So many of us, being war babies, gave me a happy life, and it should give somebody else a happy life.
It was sold at auction in 2005, and it's been vacant since then.
It's my last walkthrough. This wouldn't have happened back then, doing such destructive things.
And so this is the kind of structure that's obvious it needs to be saved, but we have to find the right partners to do that.
By gosh, I want to shout from the rooftop, because we've been working on this for many, many years.
It'll be a faithfully restored historic landmark with 58 beautiful new units designed for seniors, affordable to seniors on fixed incomes, and with plenty of accessibility.
Jacob School units are going to have Energy Star appliances and lighting fixtures, community garden plots, a cool roof, and then also maintaining the beautiful tree canopy.
That's very encouraging.
It's just going to change everything. I think it'll be a domino effect, and this will definitely be a destination place to come and live.
Kentucky is the birthplace of Bourbon, a $3 billion industry that employs more than 15,000 people across the Commonwealth. These folks are among the 24 million tourists who come through Louisville each year, motivated by one thing: Bourbon. And now, the new Angel's Envy Distillery on Main Street is Louisville's fourth and newest stop on Kentucky's Bourbon Trail experience.
Officially stamp the first passports here with the Kentucky Bourbon Trail stamps.
The Kentucky Bourbon Trail was created in 1999 to help promote Kentucky's signature spirit.
You know, you can go get historical perspectives at one distillery. You can go get more production-related perspectives. There's so many different ways to look at this, and everyone's done such a great job. Our partners, distillery partners, have done such a great job of bringing this amazing thing to the city of Louisville. So I encourage you not only to visit us, visit them, visit us often.
There are 9 other distilleries located throughout Bourbon Country. For more information, go to kybourbontrail.com. Valentine's Day is a great time to share love, not just with those close to you, but even with strangers.
I'm making a heart of construction paper. I'm working really hard on it.
This is called the Love Letter Campaign.
I found out about this program about 3 years ago when something popped up on my Louisville.gov email. I just happened to go and look about giving back that we could do as a community within our school.
I just made the little box and I said Happy Valentine's and from Addison. I'm making cards for the old people that need food.
There's some templates in here if you want to make a Valentine.
This year, a couple of the high school teachers were very interested in it as well.
It brings me a lot of joy knowing that I'm doing something positive for people, hoping to bring out a smile or give them something that they can look forward to.
They are just the sweetest people with innocent hearts, and they very much want to give back just as much as some of their siblings who may attend here.
Even though I don't know them, they can still just look at it and say, no, there is somebody that does care. That's really why I want to do something like this. It makes me feel good, and I know that it'll make them feel good as well.
It makes me feel happy just to know that I can spread my love to somebody else. And I have a lot of love to give, that even though I don't know you, I still care about you, or that I thought about you.
This year we have cards that we've made now written in Spanish. Some of them have jokes in them. Some of them are just Happy Valentine's Day. We very much wanted to reach a whole nother community.
Keep the young people involved, let them know about the other generations out there, that they're important, that little small things like this mean a lot to them.
Meals on Wheels provides nearly 400 home-delivered meals each week.
There's a few of the meals that they get really excited about. This tends to be one of them. To me, just puts a smile on everybody's face.
I will be delivering meals, and I will be delivering some of our love letters as well to some of our homebound recipients. Good morning. How are you? Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. They're very happy. A lot of times this is the only interaction that a lot of them have, so it does brighten their day.
This means a lot to me.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the 502 Report. Until next time, take care.
Metro TV, a public service of Louisville Metro government.